My name is Randy Bigley. Joining me on the podcast right now, we're going to talk with Crawford Partnership. David, Zak, and Sarah Herrle is with me. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning
good
to you.
morning.
Good morning. Good
How's
morning.
it going? It's fantastic.
Doing well. I see you guys around all over the place, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are keeping really busy because
Yeah.
the economy's doing great and we're doing lots of really cool things.
Good. That's good to hear that the economy's doing great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because for a long time it really wasn't, but it's coming back up, isn't it?
It is coming back. Kind of like Crestline used to say, the Crestline come back. I think we got the Crawford come back.
That's great.
So it's exciting to see. We
Mhm.
we were just talking about. It's been a year.
Yeah, it has. If your first day on the job, you were
Yes.
here. You came
Yeah,
in here.
I knew where the most important place to come
That's right,
was,
see?
right?
And then you come back a year
Well,
later.
Honestly, if you remember, when
Yeah.
I came in, I did not expect it. I was right on the podcast. I was right
Right.
on this. And
Yeah.
I just expected to introduce myself. And you're like, hey, we got a cancellation. You want to sit in?
Yeah,
I go,
sure, yeah.
would love nothing better.
It was
So,
great too. It was a good podcast. We had a good conversation.
It
Yeah.
was great. It
Yeah.
was great.
It was nice to meet you. It's good to see you a year later. You're still here. I'm good. Glad
Yes,
you're here.
yes. Sarah, I think, is still smiling.
Yeah,
I am.
Sarah.
I'm so glad he is part of our team
Yes.
and leading our
Yeah.
county efforts in the industry and environment. So
Yeah, I think she's
Yeah.
sincere, so that's good.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. No. How did the last year go?
Oh, the last year it has been great. I think one of the highlights, and maybe we talk about a couple of the highlights. I think one was getting named one in the top 4% for rural counties that aren't part of a metro
Sure.
area in Site Selection magazines. We had
Sure.
5 major projects. That was pretty exciting. Companies that located or expanded. Sarah, what were some of those? You worked on a number of those projects.
Yeah.
I'll throw your first softball there.
All right. So we had Diamond Wipes who installed an automation line. We had a call center, back office support, Millennial Services who opened their first physical training center and plan to hire 50 over the next 3 years or 2 years now. We celebrated outside of that some commercial things as well. Spots Rolling Bean, Avita invested, and Bucyrus and Crestline and Galleon. So there was a mix of commercial and industrial projects, but there was a lot happening.
Yeah, IB Tech with their big
Yep,
project.
IB Tech.
And Shelter Works coming into town.
Yep,
taking-
they've started their first sister location here in Crawford County.
Yeah, so that's been good. So just to be, I don't look at national rankings as the be all end all, but I think it just gives you a sense of how are we doing. So you got almost 600 micropolitans, counties like ours. That was pretty exciting. I think organizationally, we've been working to build capacity. So recently, obviously Sarah's kind of moved into a lead economic development role, which has been really exciting. She's been with the organization a lot of time for a while and has just done a fantastic job. She manages our property database. She works with our projects on a day-to-day basis. And Nancy, who is running our administration, obviously keeps me out of jail and makes sure I do what I'm supposed to be doing. And we just closed, so very new news. We, as you know, we had a search for a new person, and that position closed yesterday. So we have our first interview today.
Great. Yeah.
And we're probably going to interview. We had 40 candidates from around the country, believe it or not, multiple states,
Wow.
including Crawford County.
Good,
as
yeah,
well as
yeah.
the state of Ohio, and so we'll be interviewing probably about a dozen of those and narrowing it down to 3, and then hopefully June 1st we'll meet with the board and have those people meet with some key stakeholders, and then we'll make an offer. So
Right.
that'll be dedicated workforce. And one of the cool things about that is it's a partnership with Richland County. So it's a joint proposal put in by the Richland Chamber and us for us to get a full-time person. They'll have a full-time person doing workforce development, working with the schools, working with our community opportunity tool. Sarah was here when we launched that.
I was not here when we launched.
You weren't?
No.
That was 17. That's right.
Yeah, I came in
3
19,
years.
but
Okay.
I have been doing the marketing for it, so it's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, so for the listeners don't know, communityopportunity.com is a online regional platform. 26 different school districts have opportunity to access it. We've had 3,000 students on it, 500 companies offering, really trying to present local career opportunities and just make people known of what's great, locally. And I think that's going to be a big focus of this new person coming in. And then working with trying to help companies find adults too. So that workforce person give another new teammate. That's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
And that's sustainable ongoing funding. So that's pretty new. What else, Sarah? What do you think? Last year.
Our
Anything else comes to
organization,
mind?
our organization is really working hard to put processes into place so that we can work with the whole county in a fair process, whether that be through different grants or different review of incentives. We are working very hard to get processes in place to serve our customers internally and externally.
Yeah, I think fair play is a real important concept. We want to be fair to everybody. We're just kind of coming to the close of our first community development block grant round with the county, doing that for the county. Got that contract to administer those funds, and working with. I'm going to be meeting with commissioners today, but we had 140 projects submitted.
Wow.
From around Crawford County.
Yeah.
So it was like, Crawford County now? Yeah, they did it now, and so we got all these. So sorting through what we're eligible for this particular pot of funding, and trying to do a good job in communicating, whether it's on the economic development front or the community development front. So how can we add value? How can we bring more resources to the table? How can we make a difference? And so we're trying hard to do that, and I think we are contributing. But we got just great local elected leaders. We have great, and they have great teams. We have 1,400 companies and businesses in this county doing amazing things, contributing $2.5 billion every year in economic activity. So we're honored just to be a part of that. And I like to say we don't make the music. We just try to like give people better instruments. We try to help do a little conducting to make more beautiful music in Crawford County. But we're very excited about the future. I think a year in, it's like I don't think it could have gone any better first year. And we have one of those things where people are like, wow, you guys, we trust you with things. And so the amount of people coming to us to help is exactly where we want to be, but we're trying to figure out a way to how do we stay as responsive as one. I feel like we can't be as responsive because you get 140 projects working with all the township governments, the village governments, and those, and then working with all these businesses. But it's very satisfying, but we always feel this obligation. How do we get to every single business to make sure that they're aware of what the resources are? But I'm super happy that I feel like we made some progress in that regard.
Yeah, in our leadership program this year, we just completed on Friday month 2. So it's the Crawford Unlimited Leadership, or what we call CU Lead. We have 22 folks in the program this year, which is a great group. We have manufacturing, banking, insurance, and entrepreneurs. So we really have a wide variety of folks participating in that and getting to know their county. And it is really fun to take them somewhere and let them go, I didn't know that was made here. I didn't know we did that in this county. I didn't know that, And so Friday was our road rally. We hit Crestline, New Washington, Galleon, Bucyrus, the Park District. And so we really took in a whole picture of the county and some of the cool things that happened here. So looking forward to continuing that this year.
Yeah, leadership development's been something the partnership's been instrumental in trying to assist with, and I think that'll continue.
Did you guys go on a ghost hunt at Brownell?
Oh, we did.
I helped lead those. So I'm on the board over there, so I help lead those.
Awesome.
I help with those. So yeah, those are crazy.
I love watching the group experience that, and there was some activity that day when we were there.
Yeah.
And somebody asked if we could go in the basement.
Oh wow, you guys are brave.
Last year nobody wanted to go in the basement. This year the whole group, except for one, I think, went in the basement. So we took all of the tools down there to see if we could have any communication, and then we headed to lunch. So it was great.
The funny thing is, on Tuesday we had our open house last week, and that's the first time I've ever been in the basement. I wouldn't go, so I decided to go down there. It's like, we'll probably go back down
pretty
for a while.
awesome. We have a lot of treasures.
They do. It's a good
Historical
thing.
Society's great over there.
Yeah, we try over there.
We're a fan of Tanisha. She's doing a great job.
Tanisha's wonderful. I always tell her she's the reasons I'm on that board. Her and Amber Wortman are the only two reasons I'm on that board.
Those are dynamic duo.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and Tanisha's a CU Lead alum, so it's always fun to go back and see her again and have her speak to the group then.
Awesome.
Yeah. Doing good work.
Awesome. Yeah. So, what do you guys look forward to in the next year? Your second year.
Yeah, I think one thing I'll add, and we'll see what Sarah thinks from the economic development perspective, but building out workforce, so really engaging with the school districts, really getting this person on board and integrated in, and really leading and facilitating. There are a huge amount of opportunities. There's a huge amount of work to be done on workforce development. I think building out, we'd like to go raise some money in the private sector and add a community development person. So I see in the next year adding those 2 team members to our squad. That, if you're asking me what I see coming down the pike, I think we're really focused also, I'll let Sarah talk about this, business retention and expansion and resources and those kinds of things, and making it easier for our businesses to access. I'd like to have another national ranking year. So I'm getting into Sarah's territory. Sarah, you want to talk about economic development, what you're thinking?
So we have a very aggressive goal to meet with as many businesses as we can to add value or let them know what's there so it's in the back of their mind when the time comes. There are several companies that we meet with that have projects in mind, or they're tackling some smaller projects with big ones down the line. So just getting engaged and being aware so we can plug in at the right time with grants and requirements and programs and training for them. I would expect that from everybody we meet with, there's always something coming or something they just finished. So I don't think there'll be any shortage of projects going forward. I think jobs will continue to be created by our local existing companies. I'm really excited, and I have no doubt that we'll win it rank again.
Yeah, we're kind of in the early set of trying to get the next 10 years 1,000 new jobs and reach out to 1,000 different companies and share 1,000 stories about great things going on in Crawford County. So we kind of keep a long view while we're working on the year, but so far we're headed in the right direction, and I think a lot of good things are happening.
Absolutely.
I know you guys got to have times you guys know something's coming. You can't say anything. You're like, oh, I wish I could say something, but you can't. And you guys
Always.
I was just saying, like, this is so exciting. People are going to love this, but we can't say anything yet. But
That's right.
And part of that, I mean, projects just take time, and with costs changing, some people have delayed or gone back to the drawing board, and so it's not that they're not happening, it's just maybe you can't see it from the outside. I always think of it like building a house. Maybe they're inside working, and from the outside it looks like they haven't done anything at the construction site for days, but maybe they're inside putting up those walls or doing something else.
Or they're getting the concrete or the
Right.
dirt, you just can't see it.
Yeah.
It's brick by brick, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, so. Yeah, all that investment, we were calculating, we think 10 years, $250 million is what we'd like to see in the investment here, so.
How about your spec building that you guys built there outside?
Yeah, so that's I would say we participated with JBS, who put the spec building out in Galleon, and we're working on trying to create an event around that. We're looking towards the end of June for something to do some kind of ribbon cutting, and then also bring in stakeholders, kind of take a look at it and show it off a little bit, but. It's private developers like JNF and those guys and others who really make opportunities happen. So super exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, people don't know that's right off of 598, right when you go to Galleon off of 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right,
Yep.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
You can't miss it right in that industrial area.
Right,
So
exactly.
it's very cool.
Right, wow, it's so great to have you guys on.
Thank you. It's
know.
always a pleasure to be here.
And whenever I see you guys, I like to grab you for interviews. I know something's happening.
Yeah, it was great seeing you. We were out at the
Right.
first Friday.
Yeah.
Besides, and you were out there
I saw
sharing
you.
the good news, and it was fun to have a chat.
Saw you and Sarah coming. I said, let's come on over. So
Absolutely, appreciate that.
thank you again for coming in,
Yeah.
Sarah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
And-
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Randy.
We'll talk again, all right?
Okay, looking forward to it.
Well, you'll be here on your second year on this day.
Yeah.
I say we keep a trend going.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah,
like
you'll be
it.
starting year number 3 then, right?
It
After
sounds
that.
great.
All right.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Sarah.
Thanks.